Hi everyone. We're going to talk about AEW Collision 100 episode. Yes, guys, AEW's Collision 100 episode, which I thought was a very good show. And I went back and watched Dynamite 300. That show was great. That show was great. Like I said, we talked about Dynamite 300. Well, I didn't even watch it. I said it from reading it was good, but from watching it was great. Not good. It was great. Dynamite 300. It was great, man, in my opinion. But let's talk about Collision episode 100. Let's talk about it, guys. So story time with, TNT champion Adam Cole. Baby, I like saying bang bang, but it's mostly baby night bang bang. I don't know why I like saying bang bang because probably of Mick Foley. Sorry. Adam Cole cuts a babyface promo thanking the fans for 100 episode of Collision, and Kyle Fletcher interrupts to demand a title shot for the TNT title at All In. And 2 years ago, Adam Cole took the Ring of Honor tag team titles from Kyle Fletcher at All In with Mark Davis. I think it was Mark Davis, I believe. And now the Protostar Kyle Fletcher wants Adam Cole to feel the same to Per by taking his championship, and Kyle Fletcher claims that nobody is more deserving to be the challenger than himself, and then enters Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia. Sorry, I had to do that funny dance that he does. And he wants in on the party too. And Adam Cole was on. I'll say it again. Sorry, I'm getting so many texts. That's the other thing that distracts me too. Sorry about that, guys, from my buddies and stuff. So Kyle Fletcher interrupts to a title shot for the TNT title at All In, which we'll talk about that later, guys, in the review. Can't wait for that match. But still, I'm going for Adam Cole. But if he wins, I wouldn't mind either. So now the Protostar Kyle Fletcher wants Adam Cole to feel the same to Per by taking his championship, and Kyle Fletcher claims that nobody is more deserving to be the challenger than himself. Enters Daniel Garcia, like I said again, with the dance. And he wants in on the party too. And Adam Cole was on. I was thinking Adam Cole was game. Adam Cole was game to face both. He really wanted to face both. And Kyle Fletcher said only wanted a one-on-one title bout. And Daniel Garcia proposed that they earn it. And the winner between Daniel Garcia and Kyle Fletcher will get the shot at All In and stuff. And then Tony Storm had a message to the little girl watching the All In match against Mercedes Moné will be a lesson. If someone hurts the people you love, then rip their tits off. And then the world title be worth every drop of blood. Man, I can't wait, man. Tony Storms is the most funniest thing, man. I'm telling you, and I really hope Tony Storms retains. She's been killing it for years for this company. She's been killing it, man, for this company. Just like MGF has been killing it for this company for years too, for the 6 years that it's been around. Then Kevin Knight faced Shelton Benjamin and Nick Wayne in a three-way. That three-way was great with Kevin Knight winning. It was a great match. I'm telling you, the three-way. Let's talk about it. So the three-way contest, and Knight enters with his rib taped, and Shelton focuses on hurting Knight, and Wayne tries to pick his spot in the end, and Wayne hits a handspring cutter on Shelton, and Kevin Knight launches for a UFO splash. He's teaming up with Mike Bailey, guys. Mike Bailey and him are a tag team, the Jet Speed. So yes, guys, which I'm rooting for, these guys right here. Yes, Shelton Benjamin, and So yes, guys. Nick Wayne hits a handspring cutter on Shelton, and Knight launches for a UFO splash onto the Pell, and Nick Wayne rolls away in pain, and Kevin Knight pins Shelton Benjamin for the win, and that's what happened right there. And I'll repeat it again. Nick Wayne rolls away in pain, and Kevin Knight pins Shelton Benjamin for the win, and that's what happened right there. And then Claudio Castagnoli is sick of the Hobbs sticking their nose in the Death Riders business, and they have a score to settle at All In for the trios titles, so that's going to be added as well, guys. And I hope the Hobbs retain the trios titles. That's just my opinion. But if the Death Riders win it, it is what it is. I'm gonna go on my little rant about it, but that's just my opinion on it. I'm telling you, if the Death Riders win it, then you know that you know they're going to probably have Moxley retain. Which I love John Moxley. Don't get me wrong, but this is the first time that it's like 1 second you like it, 1 second it's kind of bipolar to me. I'm sorry to say it's like bipolar to me. So, but he's more better when he does his own thing. When he first came to AEW and the whole thing with the Blackpool Combat Club, love that. You know what I'm saying? And then once they changed to the Death Riders, a lot of people got like, what is this? Which somewhat I can't blame them. Somewhat I can't blame some fans that are not liking this story, is because they think it's like the NWO, which in fact it feels a little bit like that, a little bit. And somebody has to save AEW, and all of that with the Adam Page versus John Moxley. But like I said again, guys, if it goes down to be just a normal match between Hangman and John Moxley, I'll just go for Hangman just for the hell of it. Just for the hell of it. I'm not a huge fan of Hangman. I don't like Hangman. I just don't care about Hangman Adam Page. I really don't care about him. But if it's for the save AEW, might as well be it. But if this was my logic, I would have Darby. I would have Darby Allin win that man's Casino Gauntlet and cash in, the contract, which we'll talk about that later in the preview and prediction. That's another story to talk about. Then we had Misto and Hologram and Mark Briscoe defeating Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta and Inch Zero. Man, this trios match was fun. Let's talk about it. A lot of high-flying luchador stuff, which was good. In the end, Mark Briscoe and Hologram jump off chairs for a cannonball outside, which was awesome, guys. That stuff with the chair, and then they jumped off. That was cool. And then Misto hits the Mr. Armbar on Rocky Romero, who quickly taps out. And afterwards, MJF and MVP were on the big screen, and Misto will be in the Casino Gauntlet. And MJF isn't worried because he will pin Mark Briscoe before anyone else gets a chance to enter the match. And that thing with MJF, I love that with the Heart Syndicate. What they always say, they say, it's just business. And then we had the returning of Scorpio Sky. Finally, Scorpio Sky on television. They better book him more better. Yeah, a return is nice and all, but you gotta use the dude. You gotta use Scorpio Sky. And if you start disappearing him again and stuff like Warlow, then you might as well have those guys go to WWE. I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry to be the shit on the parade or be, the devil's advocate or whatever of criticizing, but for real, if you're not going to use them, you might as well have them go somewhere else so they can get used. Because that stuff makes me kind of pissed off sometimes. That's what Vince McMahon used to do too. And that stuff used to get me mad somewhat. So yes, guys, we had Scorpio Sky defeat Matt Caster, the best wrestler alive. The whole funny thing with Matt Caster says, say it with me, crowd. Max is the best wrestler alive. Matt Caster's the best. Oh, man. Then Matt Caster runs his mouth like usual. Then a vignette plays introduced of the return of Scorpio Sky, like I just said, and he's now part of the Sky Flight team, which is Scorpio Sky, Top Flight, Elia Gray, man, and Christopher Daniels as the manager, because Christopher Daniels is not wrestling anymore. But man, they're going to be a great team if they use them. I'm telling you. If Sky Flight team gets used, man, it's going to be a good freaking team, I'm telling you. So, like I said again, Christopher Daniels as a manager and Scorpio Sky, Pedal Matt Caster with the TKO cutter to win the match in 55 seconds, but it was cool to see Scorpio Sky win, but, it was the whole 5 minute thing with Matt Caster, which is making sense with the whole story with Matt Caster. So I don't really complain about it because it makes sense with the story. So. And then Ricochet wouldn't speak on any deals with Gates of Agony's actions are louder than words, and the camera showed Lee Johnson and Blake Christian. I love those guys in Ring of Honor. I have loved those guys in Ring of Honor. Then show up by Bishop Khan and Ty Laya, and Ricochet laughs in the face of Johnson and Christian. And then Willow Nightingale defeated Frim's Press. I was thinking, Frim Press. I'll say it again. Fiber press. I'll say it again. Fiber press. So yes, Willow Nightingale defeated Viper Press, which was a quick match. But Viper Press is an indie wrestler, really good stuff with Viper Press. If you have seen her stuff, she's been in TNA as well and stuff. But she's in like quick matches. But if you use that lady in the future, man, she'll be good. I'm telling you. So. Fur Press was scrapping big bounce, and the gun wrench powerbomb puts her down for the count. And also of note, Chris Statlander was watching backstage, and Wheeler Yuta tapped her on the shoulder to say you're welcome for helping her win last week. And Chris Statlander said, I don't need your help. I don't need your freaking help. I love Chris Statlander. I loved her when she said, I don't need your help. A lot of people are saying she's going to win the women's casino. I wouldn't mind if Chris Statlander wins it, man. How they're using her and how she won that. Is it Eve Championship? The Independence Eve Championship or something like that. But yeah, man, I'm telling you. Then Anthony Bowens was angry about. Anthony Bowens was angry about losing, and Billy Gunn tells him there would be a bump in the road, and they will figure this out together. And Anthony Bowens wants results now, and Billy tries to teach patience. That's a thing with me too. I do not have patience. I'm sorry. That's a thing with me too. But yeah, guys. Anthony Bowens was like, I need results now. He was telling Billy Gunn, I need results now. All in is just a couple days. I gotta get into the All In Man's Casino Gauntlet. And Billy Gunn says, wins don't come overnight. You gotta take your time and take your progress, So yeah. That's what happened right there, which I liked, even though that's a thing that I go through in real life. So that I enjoyed. Then we had FTR versus the Outrunners. Great tag team match. The Outrunners and FTR. Let's talk about it. FTR smashes Turbo Floyd's leg into the steel steps. Then they bleed, and Truth, Maxim, and FTR works tag team tactics to assistly Truth and hog tag to Turbo, cleaning house, and his legs buckled on a body slam, but he came back in a short order to hit a body slam with Process, and the Outrunners were on fire for the double elbow drop, and they hit the murder machine on Cash Wheeler, and Dex Harwood makes the dramatic save to break the pinfall, and Dex Harwood suplexes Truth over the rope, and the FTR hits the murder machine on Turbo to win. And Stokely Hathaway, I don't call him Big Stoke. Stokely Hathaway asserts on Truth foot to present the save, and the crowd was super crazy for this finish. Super crazy. Then we had the 8 women's all-star match, which was a little fun match. Like I said again, I like these little fun matches, but they're not bangers in my opinion, but they're little fun matches. Let's talk about it. Athena, Tekla. I got a Tekla shirt too, guys. You'll see me wearing that as well later on. And then we had Megan Bayne. I love Megan Bayne. I do, man. I hope they give her a belt soon. I really hope they give her a belt. And Julia Hart defeating Thunder Rosa and Queen Manana and Anna Jay and Ty Mello, Ty Conti. I call her Ty Conti, Kai Mello, either one, but Ty Mello, which was a fun 8 women's tag match. Let's talk about it. The All Stars match, the closing action pairs off between rivals, and Thunder and Athena brawl to the back, which that's going to happen at Super Card of Honor. Thunder Rosa faces Athena, and I really think Athena is going to retain, even though I love Thunder Rosa, but I think Athena is going to retain. But brawls into the back, and Sky Blue ramps Ty Mello into the barricade, and Energy punches Sky Blue and Anthony forward, and Bade takes advantage of that distraction and clobbers Anna, and the Megasins, penciling forward, and Megan Bane finished the job with a running powerbomb on NJ to win, and that's how they won, with Megan Bane with a powerbomb 1, 2, 3, and that's what happened right there. And then we had the vignette of Alex Winders. I can't wait for Alex Winders. Some people think that she's going to be at All In if she does. Oh my God, man. Just imagine if she does win it. That would be shocking, but I don't think they're going to do that because that would be, too quick, for a debut. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see what happens, though. But Alex Winders doesn't quit from a torn ACL in her career, and the All Elite mission doesn't stop till gold is around her waist, which that was a cool little quick, package. Then we had the main event. Kyle Fletcher fences Daniel Garcia. Great match. And Kyle Fletcher won, and we're getting Kyle Fletcher fences Adam Cole. And like I said again, I'm going for Adam Cole, but for all the people that are going for Kyle Fletcher, I give it up to you guys too as well. I wouldn't mind if Fletcher wins. If Fletcher wins the TNT Championship, I wouldn't mind either. I'd be happy for Kyle Fletcher because Kyle Fletcher deserves it. You know what I'm saying? Kyle Fletcher deserves it, man. Even though I'm going for Adam Cole. So Adam Cole was on commentary, and Daniel Garcia was busted open from being dived into the barricade, and Kyle Fletcher launches the pace with Daniel Garcia firing up for rally, and Daniel Garcia slaps on the sharpshooter, then he lands too far back from Kyle Fletcher to grab his neck from the escape, and Daniel Garcia keeps up the momentum from a suplex over the ropes, and both wrestlers tumbled hard down to the floor. I'll say it again. Both wrestlers tumbled hard to the floor, and Fletcher was quickly to his feet for a suplex on the floor and a Princess powerbomb on the apron. And Adam Cole roots for Daniel Garcia to make it back in the ring, and Kyle Fletcher doesn't get an inch to finish with the Brian Buster, and the Protostar will challenge Adam Cole for the TNT title at All In, and that's what happened right there, guys. Man. It was a good match, I'm telling you, and that's what happened, guys. And I give this show an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. This was a really fun 100 episode of Aew Collision, just like how fun the 300 episode of Dynamite, man. Oh, man, I can't wait, man. I can't wait, man. And like I said again, we'll be talking about this in a bit, my preview and predictions for All In and, Evolution and stuff like that. But, yeah, we'll be talking about that in a bit here. So, yes, guys, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit those notification bells as always. This is Christopher Killer 303. I'll say it again, this is Christopher Killer 303, and we're out. Peace out and take care, guys. Peace out and take care.